All right, good morning, Triton Trojan fans. We are here at the Triton Activity Center watching this rescheduled match between the Triton Trojans and the LaVille Lancers. So captain's out right now doing the coin toss, and we will do the national anthem shortly and get ready to go. So welcome all Trojan fans, and we're looking forward to an exciting wrestling match today between the Trojans of Triton and the LaVille Lancers. A lot of great utilization here coming out of this facility, and excited for the opportunity for Triton Athletics and the Triton student body and community to have access to a place like this to be able to utilize long term. This is Dan Stichter here, my second ever broadcast of a wrestling match with the Triton Trojan Sports Network. I want to thank Orion Lemler and his team and Mason McIntyre for inviting me back. Though I know very little about wrestling, I'm going to attempt to make this a fun and engaging day for everyone. And I'm joined here by my lovely assistant and beautiful wife, Emily Stichter, who has promised that if she gets heard talking on the YouTube channel, I'm dead meat. So she'll be listening and rolling her eyes at me plenty, I'm sure, but we'll have a lot of fun here broadcasting this wrestling match. So plan is to get started at exactly 11 a.m. today, and I think shortly here I see Mason walking over to potentially begin the national anthem and kick us off. Wrestling meet, as it's called, is between two teams. So there is a team score, and you'll see the team score displayed once we get going here on the screen. Team score, you're awarded points for wins, for pins, and for major decisions, I believe is the term. And again, if we have people out there watching or listening that want to correct anything I'm saying, I would love those commentaries. So please make some comments there on the YouTube channel. But we're going to do our best to explain to viewers that maybe aren't as privy to wrestling or understand how the wrestling match works. Well, hopefully
it looks like we got 12 points on LaVille's side already. I'm guessing they're counting some forfeits in already. So
they may be, yeah. So today we're going to have 5 wrestlers from Triton, and we will have a number more than that from LaVille. One of the big parts of developing a wrestling program is getting a lot of wrestlers, both at some of those smaller weight classes and the larger weight classes. It's not as though in football and basketball you can just add someone to the team and they can play a position. In wrestling, your weight does determine who you were able to wrestle on the other side, and that's really to ensure that those matches are balanced and that those matches are between individuals who are good matchups. So I don't have anyone in some of the smaller weight classes for either school. I believe the first weight class that has anyone today is Connor Deason for LaVille in the 126 weight class, but Triton does not have a wrestler entering that weight class. So Connor will win by forfeit, and LaVille will be awarded 6 team points for that forfeit. So again, in wrestling, important to not only have a strong team of hard workers, as both these teams do, I'm sure, but also to have a full team and individuals that are willing to come out and do what they can to support the team based on their individual, their weight. And so, Orion, how many wrestling matches have you broadcast in your Triton Trojan Sports Network career?
Well, with announcers, this is probably the second one I've been at. This is probably the third ever for TTSN. Well, I take that back. We have done some of the conference the conference tournaments, and trying to remember how many of those have been. I've been to every one of them.
Great. So Triton Trojan Sports Network is still cutting our teeth, I'll say, on wrestling, but certainly it doesn't make it any less exciting for the gentlemen that are going out and doing their best to move forward down there on the mat.
Good morning, everyone.
Here we go.
Welcome to Triton Junior Senior High School for this morning's varsity wrestling match between LaVille and Triton. This morning we will start at 126 pounds. Some information for fans today. If you need to use the restroom, please exit the activity center. Turn right in the hall. The bathrooms are in the hallway down on your left. Concession stand is open. Thanks for coming.
All right, that was Connor Deason from LaVille. I want to shout out to Connor. It is his birthday today. So happy 17th birthday to Connor Deason, wrestling in the 126 weight class for LaVille. So again, these are weight classes where Triton does not have a wrestler available. This is Nathan White in the 132 weight class, I believe. And now we have up our first actual match of the day, which is D'Angelo Holland from Triton versus Luis Diego from LaVille. And again, good luck to these gentlemen. The winner of this match, depending on the outcome, will be awarded points for his team, and then those points will go toward the overall team score and will allow us to determine the victor in this individual meet between Triton and LaVille. Triton awarded 2 points there to D'Angelo Holland for the takedown. Referee believes he's in control of the other player, and now it's up to him to maintain that control. Point awarded to LaVille for the escape. It is now 2-1 in this individual match at 145. Those of you new to wrestling, the referee is counting back points and has awarded the pin to Luis Diego, senior from LaVille, in the 145 weight class, defeats D'Angelo Holland by pin. Team is awarded 6 points for the win by fall. Congratulations to those two gentlemen. Up next, we have the 160 weight class, Landon Lemler from Triton, wrestling Mason Stepp from LaVille. The referee has notified players that they were out of bounds, and they will start again from a neutral position. Both players upright. The referee has called a stalemate. Again, the wrestlers will return to a neutral position and begin again. About 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go in the first period of this 3-period wrestling match. So the players will wrestle for 3 2-minute periods. And then at the end of the match, if there is not a pin prior to the end, we'll award points to the team. There is 2 points awarded to LaVille for the takedown. And that is Mason Stepp awarded the pin against Landon Lemler of Triton. So good match from those two gentlemen. Up next, we have Caleb Tolbert from LaVille without a challenger from Triton at the moment. Okay, coming up next, in the 195 weight class, we have McLean Middaw from the Triton Trojans wrestling Jonathan Ziola from the LaVille Lancers. Two points awarded to LaVille for the takedown. 3 points awarded to LaVille for a near fall.
Well, bear with us, we're having technical difficulties.
Not a problem, Orion. We know you're working hard and doing everything you can. So players were awarded 2 additional points to LaVille for back points or a near fall, and then declared out of bounds. And the players start again with McLean in the down position and the LaVille Lancer in the, I don't know what the appropriate term is here, but the on top position. Definitely an advantage for the player that is not starting in the down position. About 30 seconds to go here in the first period. Again, players noted as out of bounds. And a pin awarded to to Jonathan Ziola from LaVille against McLean Middaw of Triton. And great effort by both these two wrestlers. I continue to be impressed with the amount of stamina and strength that is required to be a wrestler. Certainly these guys work very, very hard at not only controlling some of their weight, but most specifically practicing very, very hard on the stamina. 6-minute wrestling match. I believe we had an issue with the clock there that the referee wanted to address and correct, so we are going to begin again. As I was just saying, 2 full minutes of maximum exertion against another individual of your size and strength certainly is something that I don't know that I've done more than a couple times in my life, maybe in freshman PE class. Orion, do you remember freshman PE? Did you have to wrestle?
Well, I was just getting ready to ask you about that, if you remembered. Did you probably had Mr. Wildman?
I did have Rod
That's what I
Wildman.
had.
Yeah, so.
It was not a fond memory for me.
Certainly for those of us who are not used to wrestling, both the effort necessary and the action of being tied up with someone roughly your size and strength is something we're not used to every single day. So.
And I'm not a touchy-feely guy. I don't like being touched.
I understand. I'll say even as a gentleman who played on the football team, it's still wrestling is a completely different animal. I know some wrestlers who are very good football players and excel at other sports, and football players and other sports that excel at wrestling, but my goodness, it is a sport unlike any other. No ball involved, just you and your effort against the effort from the other team. So. Anthony Shue there with the takedown. Awarded 2 near fall points there. Reversal awarded to LaVille, and then the escape awarded to Triton. No points there awarded at the end of the first period, but at the end of the first period in this wrestling match at the 220 weight class between Anthony Shue and James Betcher of LaVille, it is Triton with 5 match points, and it is LaVille with 2. LaVille is elected to start in the on top position. Again, would love a fan out there to tell me exactly what that's called. And now Anthony then awarded a point for an escape.
Nobody chatting today, so.
No worries, no worries. I'm sure there'll be people watching the recording and say, oh, this Dan guy, we need to come and help him. We would love if someone out there is a wrestling enthusiast and a Triton fan that would love to come out and potentially help provide some commentary for these wrestling matches. We'd love to have you. So you can reach out to Triton Trojan Sports Network and they'll be happy to determine if that might be something to be possible. Roughly halfway through the second period. It is Triton with 6 points in this individual match, and LaVille with 2. Again, it is Anthony Shue at the 220 weight class against James Betcher in this 220 weight class match. Seems like a pretty even match. Now, Anthony is only a freshman. James is a senior. So 2 individuals, perhaps one with a little more high school wrestling experience, but a very even match between these 2 gentlemen. All right, so I believe the LaVille wrestler and wrestling team elected, rather than to take the advantage position, to allow the upright and award a point to the Triton wrestler. Again, strategically, there are points scored in this match, and the individual with the most points at the end of the individual match is awarded points for his team. So there is much strategy going into wrestling. It is not brute force by any stretch. Certainly that helps, but a lot of strategy that goes into this sport, this match. And the pin awarded to James Betcher from the LaVille Lancers, defeating Anthony Shue in the 220 weight class. Up next, and our final match of the day, is going to be Caleb Lemler wrestling Joshua Wilson in the heavyweight weight class in this wrestling match. So Caleb's seen some success this year in wrestling and is, I believe, our lone senior on the team. I want to confirm that, but certainly our lone senior wrestling today. I want to give a shout out here to our Triton Trojan Sports Network. As this is our last match of the day, we'll continue to encourage Caleb and Joshua wrestling one another, but Triton Trojan Sports Network is funded solely by donations and by our Triton Athletic Department. With COVID-19 pandemic, we do have a significant decline in gate receipts, so anyone who'd like to make a donation, those donations can be made via YouTube. YouTube does take a percentage of those donations, or they can be made directly to the school and to the athletic department. So if anyone really appreciates these broadcasts, whether it be wrestling or basketball or football or any of the various sports that are, or events that are broadcast on the Trojan Sports Network, I know these guys work really, really hard and primarily a volunteer basis, and would really appreciate your support, both for the athletic department and for the ability for all of us to be able to watch these matches from the comfort of our couches. Certainly we all wish we could be there in person, but for the safety and wellness of our athletes and our school, we're asking that only family members attend these days, and any appreciation you could show either via YouTube or via donation, we can provide those instructions if you'd like to reach out. So, Orion, what is the email address to reach out to for Triton Trojan Sports Network?
You could do sports@triton.k12.in.us. That'd be the best way.
Okay, simple enough. Sports.
Or TritonTrojanFans@gmail.com.
Okay, so 2 options there. Sports@triton.k12.in.us. or Triton Trojans at Gmail.
Triton Trojan Fans.
Triton Trojan Fans, excuse me. Triton Trojan Fans at gmail.com. All right, at the end of the first period, it is still knotted at 0-0 in this 285 match between Caleb Lemler, and Joshua Wilson of LaVille. It gets a little more interesting now as one wrestler is in the down position, the other wrestler starting with the advantage. Gives the down wrestler the opportunity to escape, but also the risk. There we are. Caleb awarded the escape point. Now we're back in a neutral position.
So next Saturday we'll be right back here for the Hoosier North Athletic Conference tournament. We're going to have 3 mats. I'm going to try to have a camera on each one of them. And are we going to call the finals for that? Or are you going to... I don't expect you to call the whole day.
Well, I appreciate that, Orion. That would certainly be a challenge. I think we probably will focus primarily on the championship matches in each weight class. I know at times schools in the Hoosier North Athletic Conference can, I won't say struggle to field a team, but certainly being a little bit smaller of a school, it is a little more difficult to fill out an entire wrestling team, especially some of those smaller weight classes. So I don't know how full our day will be, but appreciate you putting in the effort to have 3 cameras going on the 3 different mats. And we'll try to call the championship matches of each weight class. And hopefully a significant number of Trojans wrestling in those championship weight classes. We will see.
Hopefully.
You hear some of the excitement from the individual teams. Very excited for these 2 wrestlers matching off in the heavyweight weight class. These are the boys that are big and strong and certainly have put a lot of weight and effort into their wrestling matches. So team's really getting engaged in this match with just a little bit left to go in this second period. That ends the second period, so now we enter in the third period. Appears LaVille has the decision on where they choose to start. Triton currently leading this match 1-0, with Caleb Lemler having the single escape and the single point of this match. Triton coaches shouting encouragement for one of the very few wrestling moves that I do know, which is the half. I believe short for the half Nelson, where you put your arm under their armpit and behind their neck and then torque it to try and get the opponent onto their back and hopefully get that fall or that pin. Difficult because certainly the other player knows you're attempting to do that as well. Referee issuing a warning there. Again, I apologize. I'm not particularly aware of what that was, but we're going to start back in the down position for LaVille with Caleb Lemler wrestling on top with a 1-point lead, 1-0 in the third period, 25 seconds to go. Two points awarded to Caleb there. And that is that heavyweight match between Caleb Lemler of Triton and Joshua Wilson. Caleb winning 3-0. I believe the Triton team is awarded 3 points for that win. A major decision, I believe, is worth 6, and a pin worth 6 as well. So major decision, I believe, winning by more than 15 points in the individual match. So congratulations to both teams today. I believe this is where we're going to call our broadcast, and we would love to see you guys next week for the Hoosier North Athletic Conference. Again, broadcasting hopefully all 3 mats, but then only commentating those championships. Orion, what other things do we have coming up for Triton Trojan Sports Network this week?
Let's see. Well, Monday's a school board meeting.
Okay.
We're broadcasting that at 7 o'clock. We cannot broadcast at Winnemac for the girls' game on Tuesday, but you can do a pay-per-view on Winnemac's page for that. Wednesday, the junior high boys are at LaVille for the conference quarterfinals for the conference tournament, and you'll have the pay-per-view on that on LaVille's channel.
Okay.
Thursday, TTSN will be at the JV girls and boys games at Culver, and we were going to call those games. Then the varsity girls and boys host Culver on Friday night. We'll also call those games. And then, of course, Saturday we'll have the conference wrestling tournament here live on TTSN. And then that night, the girls, JV and varsity, are at Bremen, and we'll be calling that game.
Well, it sounds like you've got a full and exciting week coming up.
Yeah.
Again, you can hear a number of schools that do have a pay-per-view option for broadcasts, or maybe those are done by outside media outlets, but really appreciate the Triton Trojan Sports Network and all the effort that goes into providing this free service. So again, if you feel the obligation, feel the need, feel the opportunity, would love to have a donation potentially made to Triton, either at sports at triton.k12.in.us or via YouTube. Again, gate receipts are down this year, which is the way we support Triton Athletics. So any outside support is greatly appreciated. And Orion, thank you again for the opportunity to come and hopefully not mess this up too bad. We'll give people a little bit to talk about.
I will say that I'm going to re-upload this with the fixed video because it's been in and out the whole time. So look for that later today. We'll have the full video of this match.
All right. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you, Triton Trojans fans. Signing off, and I don't remember what Andy says, but it's really well done.
Remember the Trojan way.
Remember the Trojan way. All right, Trojan fans, remember the Trojan way. Have a good day.